August 2025. There was this one specific week, really. It's probably going to be remembered as, well, a really pivotal moment when the tech world's giants made some truly monumental plays. I mean, it was dominated by that single huge $9 billion corporate investment. And the message seemed pretty clear. Building AI infrastructure isn't just moving forward, it's accelerating massively, with huge capital flowing into, well, every single layer. Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're looking closely at a piece called AI Takes Center Stage, a week of monumental investments. We've tried to pull out the key insights from that flurry of funding news between August 10th and 14th, 2025. It really gives you a snapshot of where things are going.
Yeah, what really stands out when you look at the source material is this kind of dual-track movement happening. On one side, you've got this consolidation, the big players, the giants, making these huge bets to solidify their position at the top. But then at the same time, there's this just incredible explosion of specialized innovation. Smaller companies using AI to transform industries you wouldn't even necessarily think of.
Okay, so our mission today is pretty straightforward for you. We'll start with those biggest plays, the foundational ones. Then we'll explore how AI is really changing specific sectors. Hardware, healthcare, logistics. The works. Let's just jump right in. Okay, so let's unpack this first one. The biggest headline, the one everyone's talking about, was Google's huge $9 billion investment, announced August 14th. $9 billion. Well, it's not just pocket change, is it? It feels like a statement.
Oh, definitely not pocket change. This is a serious doubling down on their cloud and AI infrastructure. Think about them expanding data centers globally, buying up all those powerful cutting-edge chips you need for these massive AI models. It's kind of like laying the foundation for a whole new city. They want to own the ground floor of this AI revolution.
And the focus on AI agents, what does that actually mean for businesses or for us?
Right. AI agents are basically, think of them as autonomous AI systems. They're more than just chatbots. They can do things, execute complex, multi-step tasks on their own. So for a business, maybe that's an agent handling invoice reconciliation across different systems. No humans needed for that specific task. For you or me, maybe it's an agent managing your smart home energy, making actual decisions to save power. Google's investment here is a clear signal. They want to lead from that foundational level, build the core intelligence.
That's just a staggering amount of money for the base layer. What's driving such a massive investment in the core infrastructure itself?
It's really about leading the whole AI revolution right from its core infrastructure.
Okay, moving down a layer perhaps from those absolute giants. Cohere is really interesting. They're a big name in large language models, and they just pulled in $500 million. Series E. That's serious validation.
Absolutely. And that funding really cements their place in enterprise AI specifically. See, unlike the public models most people interact with, Cohere builds AI specifically for secure business use. This lets companies use their own private, sensitive data to customize the AI. That's huge for mitigating risks around privacy and proprietary info. It lets businesses use AI's power safely. It's filling a really critical need right now.
Then there's Unify Apps. They raised $50 million, Series B, and they're building something called an agentic AI platform for enterprises, enabling AI nativity, they say. So what does an agentic AI platform actually do?
Yeah, it's basically a platform to help big companies weave together all their different AI tools across different departments. Imagine a big global company getting sales AI to talk to marketing AI, to talk to supply chain AI. It's messy. This platform aims to make the company more unified, more intelligent, letting different AI models work together, share insights. Instead of being stuck in their little silos, it breaks down those internal barriers.
So why is tailoring AI specifically for businesses so critical right now? Seems like a big focus.
Businesses really need secure, custom AI if they want to leverage their own data effectively.
Okay, this is where, for me anyway, it gets really interesting. Moving beyond the software, the hardware underneath it all. Hardware innovators are getting huge investments. Celestial AI, $255 million for photonic AI hardware. That sounds, well, futuristic. What is a photonic fabric?
It does sound like sci-fi, doesn't it? Basically, a photonic fabric uses light photons instead of electricity to send data between chips. See, as AI models get just astronomically huge, moving all that data around quickly becomes a massive bottleneck with traditional wires. This light-based approach dramatically speeds things up. It boosts performance and efficiency for AI data centers. Moving data at light speed is really foundational for the next generation of truly massive AI models, the kind you'd need for, say, fully autonomous driving or complex scientific simulations. Every millisecond counts.
Whoa. Imagine scaling to like a a billion queries with that kind of speed. That's
Yeah, that's mind-boggling. Feels like it just changes the fundamental limits.
mm-hmm, indeed. And then you've got Vulcan Elements, $65 million for AI-optimized rare earth manufacturing. Now, rare earths, these are critical for, well, almost everything tech. Smartphones, EV batteries, you name it. But getting them out of the ground and refining them, that's often really intensive.
Right. So this investment is about making that whole process, the mining and refining, more efficient
Yeah.
and maybe greener,
Yeah,
tackling a supply chain issue too.
precisely. They're using AI to optimize that whole supply chain, from finding better ways to extract the materials, to improving the refining, cutting down waste, reducing environmental impact. It's a really strategic area for modern tech, making that backbone more robust, more sustainable.
So how fundamentally does specialized hardware like this change what AI can actually do in the future?
Basically, new hardware removes bottlenecks. It enables bigger, much faster AI systems. Okay, let's pivot a bit to health. This week saw a huge amount of money flowing into healthcare AI. SetPoint Medical, for instance, $140 million for AI-powered neuroimmune therapy. That sounds like a really novel approach for autoimmune diseases.
Yes, it's incredibly innovative.
Mm.
It involves a tiny implant that stimulates a specific nerve, and that stimulation helps regulate the body's immune system. But the key part is the AI. It's used to optimize the therapy for each specific patient. It learns how that individual's body responds, making the treatment highly personalized, potentially way more effective than the old one-size-fits-all methods. Could be a game changer for things like rheumatoid arthritis or Crohn's.
Then TrueMed's got $85 million. Their focus is an AI-powered teleconsultation platform, making healthcare more accessible, it seems.
Yeah, and we also saw Reprieve Cardiovascular, $61 million for personalized heart failure therapy. Their tech intelligently automates fluid management for patients. That's a really complex thing to manage, especially in acute situations. Imagine a system constantly watching vitals, adjusting fluid levels automatically to prevent problems. AI makes that possible.
And Tahoe Therapeutics, another $30 million. They're building computational models of human cells using AI biological foundation models to design drugs. That sounds incredibly complex.
It is complex, but think of it like creating this super detailed digital blueprint of how our cells work. With these AI-powered models, researchers can simulate how potential drugs might interact with our biology way faster. It speeds up drug discovery, makes it more targeted, and potentially cuts down on expensive lab work and animal testing. Honestly, the sheer breadth here, I still find myself grappling with how rapidly these medical applications are advancing. It's really something.
How do you think AI will fundamentally change our approach to health and medicine overall?
Well, the promise is more personalized, much more efficient, and more accessible healthcare solutions.
Okay, so beyond healthcare, which is huge, AI is really weaving itself into almost every corner of the economy, transforming industries you might not immediately think of. Titan, for example, $74 million for AI fleet automation.
Right. That's all about optimizing logistics for big vehicle fleets. Think trucking companies, delivery services. The AI helps figure out the best routes, monitors driver behavior, even predicts when a truck needs maintenance before it breaks down, saves fuel, cuts down on wear and tear, automates these really complex logistical puzzles.
Then One Cosmos, $57 million. AI for identity proofing and authentication. Are we getting closer to ditching passwords?
Yeah, that's definitely the goal there. Using AI, often with biometrics like face scans or fingerprints, to verify users securely. Fight fraud. It pushes us towards a more secure, hopefully simpler, passwordless future, safer online interactions, less hassle.
And XOPS, another $40 million. They're building autonomous AI agents, but for IT operations. So AI managing IT systems automatically, that sounds like a big leap.
That's exactly the idea. These AI agents watch the IT systems, spot problems, fix issues, optimize performance, all without a human stepping in directly. Think of it like an intelligent 24/7 IT support team that diagnoses and fixes things in milliseconds. It frees up the human IT folks for more strategic tasks.
Looking across all these different sectors, logistics, identity, IT, what's the common thread you see?
It seems AI is enabling much greater efficiency, more automation, and deeper data-driven insights everywhere.
Now, we've focused a lot on AI, and obviously that was the big theme this week. But there were other significant tech investments too. Mesh, for instance, secured $130 million.
Mm-hmm. Mesh is building a crypto payments network and also an embedded finance platform. While the source doesn't explicitly call it AI, it's a major move in that broader digital asset space. They're aiming for smoother digital economy experiences, making it easier to handle digital assets for businesses and individuals. It shows that blockchain and digital finance are still maturing, getting more institutional traction.
So when you see a week like this with such diverse but really massive investments across the board, what does it tell you about the broader tech investment climate right now?
It clearly shows capital is flowing strongly into areas seen as having high growth potential and driving foundational change. If we try to connect all these dots, step back and look at the bigger picture. This 1 week in August 2025 really highlights that powerful dual track movement we talked about earlier. It's a fascinating dynamic playing out.
Right. On one track, you have the absolute giants like Google investing billions in that core foundational AI infrastructure. They're strategically cementing their power right at the top of the stack, building the bedrock, really. It's a very long game they're playing.
Exactly. And then on the other track, you see this just vibrant explosion of specialized innovation. You've got smaller, more agile companies often using AI, transforming very specific industries, things like biotech, personalized medicine, manufacturing, farming, IT. AI is finding niches everywhere and making a real impact.
So the market is clearly maturing quite rapidly, it seems. The money isn't just going to the flashy consumer AI anymore. It's flowing into every single layer of the AI stack and even beyond into related tech like crypto finance. It really feels like we're watching the future being built, one huge strategic investment at a time. It's definitely an exciting landscape, maybe a bit dizzying sometimes. So the big question then is, what does all this mean for you listening to this?
Well, I think it's worth considering how these deep investments, particularly in AI, aren't just abstract numbers on a page. They're going to fundamentally reshape parts of our daily lives. How we get medical treatment, how our food supply is managed, even how the data centers that power everything digital actually operate. Everything's getting smarter, faster, more connected.
And that brings up an important question, one I find myself thinking about quite a bit. As AI becomes truly fundamental, really embedding itself into our infrastructure, our services, the very fabric of society, what are the new ethical questions, the new societal challenges we need to start grappling with actively? The implications are just vast. And that conversation feels like it's only just beginning.
It's certainly something to mull over. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the monumental investments of August 2025. We hope this gave you a useful shortcut to understanding what happened and maybe sparked a few new thoughts for you.
Until next time, Al Music.